What's going on, guys? How is it going? It's Tyler here, and today let me move this microphone out of my head. Today I'm bringing you a brand new video. Welcome to another Wednesday video. Now today, usually I do a ramen taste test. Now I'm gonna give you a little, I don't know, spoiler alert here for my regulars, especially for my ramen watchers. I'm gonna give you a little spoiler here. This is going to be next week's ramen taste test. I actually ate dinner already, so I'm not doing that today. But it's going to be spicy kimchi ramen. That's going to be next week, so stay tuned for that. Go ahead, already hit that bell notification button just so you're notified when I do post that ramen taste test. But today's video is not going to be that. It is going to be just a talking video, but today's topic is going to be kind of a creative process. Now, I have gone through many different phases of creative processes throughout my life. Now, when I was a child, my creative process was I wake up. As soon as I woke up, boom, I was already being creative. I was reading something, I was playing about 20 minutes, 30 minutes of video games, then I would go outside, just play pretend, play some basketball, swing a little bit, walk around, see what the dog doing. I would do all those things, a little bit of skateboarding. I would go up and just chill with my CD player. We had CDs at the time, my CD player, and I even had like a little portable stereo that I would go out to our shed and I would climb up. We had a little rafter area. I would sit up there. I had some carpets up there, so it was kind of like my little hideout, and I would just listen to music. Okay, so this was like 8, 9 years old. I was already doing these types of things, just getting out and filling my mind and just letting the world take on my mind. And just my surroundings and be inspired by it. And then I would constantly draw pictures. I remember about 8, 9 years old was the first time I started dabbling with music. My dad had a laptop with a mixing board and everything because he did like radio shows at the time, and so I was able to plug my electric guitar and a microphone in, and that was my first experiences with, let's say, making music. So I was creatively making music, I was drawing, I was also writing at the time. Again, 8, 9 years old, I was, like I said, I was reading Aragon, the Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack Sparrow Adventures, all of these things I was just filling myself with. Any fantasy movies, books, Bridge to Terabithia, Spiderwick Chronicles, like again I said, Aragon. Of course, you had your Harry Potters, you had your Star Wars, all of these different fantasy worlds, Lord of the Rings especially being my favorite, just absolutely encapsulating my mind. And so I needed a process to get all of that out, right? You guys saw my process within YouTube, but you don't know behind the scenes of my actual creative process behind it. You just saw the outcome of it. So in today's video, that's what I'm going to be going over, because I do know one of the biggest things and struggles that people don't necessarily talk about a lot, but I know a lot of people strive to be a YouTuber and all of these different things, but one of the big things that goes behind it is creative process. Again, that's not widely talked about. A lot of people are just like, just start, just do it, just get out there, and yes, that's part of the process, but the number one thing is creative process. Creating themes, creating, something that's going to be uniform, different things like that, and really pinpointing which ones are useful and which ones are not. Obviously, those things come with experience, but so on and so forth, and it depends on what you're dealing with. But today, I wanted to talk about, especially, like, again, my creative process with YouTube. I've actually gone out of that process and haven't used it in a while, and I'm going to touch on it today. So the reason I mentioned myself as a child and making music and doing these things at 8, 9 years old is because within that, when I was making music, I was also making cover arts for like CD cover arts. So I wasn't just making music, I was encapsulating the entire thing. I was like, if I'm going to make, songs with my guitar and singing and everything, I'm going to need, a CD case. So all of these rock bands and stuff I was listening to and all of this, I was taking inspiration from their album covers and then taking them into the program within my dad's laptop and kind of making my own that looked like they would be, like a CD cover for a rock CD. Now I would go ahead and these songs wouldn't even be written, but I would have a track list. So I had to say if I wanted 10 songs on the album, I would have to come up with 10 names. Then I'm like, well, I have 10 song names, I have a cover art, I have the concept here, I just don't have these songs written, right? So then I already have the titles for them. So then it's like, okay, I can take that title and create a song around either a phrase or whatever that imagery could be. So I remember one of my songs was called Demon Chase. And so I already knew, okay, so it's chasing a demon, so at what kind of concept can I put around that? What type of imagery, what type of words would be used in a song titled Demon Chase? So all of these different things were going at 8 and 9 years old. I was creating the concept of it, and then going in and actually chiseling out those little pieces, creating each song one by one. Okay, so then it comes to YouTube. What did I do? You guys, again, didn't see this on the back end and didn't know this on the back end. You guys just saw the videos. But what I was doing was, say, throughout the week, say it comes Sunday. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If I'm making 6 videos, say if I was uploading daily, now I did skip around days once I started getting bigger and whatnot. I would take days off. But say if I was making 6 videos for a week, I would take a Sunday and make 6 thumbnails. I would say, okay, what type of videos? Okay, so a gun review, okay, maybe a map review, okay, maybe a survival mode video, okay, what videos are doing the best on my channel right now? Okay, tutorial videos, hacking videos. So I would try to incorporate at least one of those things that are doing really good, say like a tutorial. So I would make 6 thumbnails, the titles of them, put the words on the thumbnails, everything, get the pictures for them, everything, make the thumbnails before I would even get the gameplay. And then I would have 6 thumbnails pretty much giving me, these are the 6 videos I need to make. So then I would just structure the video around that thumbnail, just like I was making those album arts, and then have to structure those songs around that track list that I had already created. So when making, say, like a YouTube channel, if you're making a YouTube channel, like I said, it's not widely talked about, but the creative process behind it. How are your videos going to be edited? You don't want one video that's kind of just straight long like mine, that's absolutely no cuts, no nothing, and then the next one be like a chopped up, zoom in, zoom out, whole bunch of choppy, that attention span grabber type choppiness. And then your next video be another one shot, and then be, say, like a poor quality camera on that video. So you don't want it to be inconsistent in that way. So once you understand what you have, the quality of, say you may have a terrible quality camera, but find something that you can structure around that bad quality to the point where you can then gradually grow into, affording a better quality camera. But that's what you want to do. You want a creative process of what you have. When people say, like, you don't have to have the most expensive camera, you don't. But you have to have an idea around what you have. You have to know what you have. Having little isn't bad. You can make anything out of the smallest, worst quality, whatever. You just have to know the process and where you're trying to put that. Some people just get lucky and they make the most perfect thing from what they have, and they don't even know what they have. And then they put it out, they release it, and it blows up, and they're just like, wow, I never saw that coming. But you can put thought into it. It's not bad, and you do want to have that thought behind it regardless, because even if you fail, those were efforts, right? So failed efforts in the end are victories, because failed effort is that you tried. Now, failing without putting your full effort into it is always going to hurt more, because that's wasted time. You could have done better. You're going to have that regret in the back of your head of, like, this is what I could have done. You could have done that, but that full effort was not being applied. So again, failed effort is still a victory because you put forth effort. And so having a thought process or even a diagram of what you're going after is definitely something to put into place. If you're going for, like, say, a gaming channel, do some research on gaming channels. Look at a few gaming channels, say your favorite gaming channels. Look at their channel art. See how it's set up. Do they use regular faces, or do most of them find, say, a logo to present their channel? Minecraft YouTubers a lot of the times will use their personalized Minecraft skin as their big could say like logo or whatnot, but there are many different ways to kind of brand and structure that around. So it doesn't always have to be uniform. It doesn't always have to look pretty, sleek, whatever. It doesn't have to look the best, but that's what a lot of the times people were impressed, I guess you could say, about, say, my thumbnails and my channel arts and stuff like that. All of that was made from an iPad. Now you can see other people making, say, tutorials on how to make thumbnails and how to do this on iPad and phones and whatnot, and they just be the basic fonts, and they do the, well, I don't want the basic fonts. What are people using, like on the PC? What type of fonts are they using? Okay, so then it's like, well, how do I download fonts onto my iPad? Okay, so you can do that. So I went and grabbed those fonts, and it's like, so how do I make things transparent, and how do I do this and that, what these people are doing? So I would have a list of like 6 different apps that I would go through, and each app served as one specific thing, but it was doing the job of each program on the computer, or each tool within Photoshop that the computer does. So it could be 3 or 4 apps that I'm using, but I'm getting that quality, that product of what I was seeing, you know, being popularized. So when I was jumping into a game that was super popular but not structured around, like, people didn't make thumbnails like Call of Duty thumbnails for Pixel Gun 3D. Well, that's what I started integrating, was what I was seeing in Call of Duty, these Call of Duty montages, these Call of Duty commentaries, all of these different Call of Duty videos and their thumbnails and the structures of the videos, and I was incorporating that into a game that was growing. And so that's, I believe, one of the reasons why iOS Planet did so well with Pixel Gun 3D, was because, like I said, I was incorporating something that was already big on console, and incorporating that same idea in a mobile game that was on the rise. So the 2 and 2 paired well. You guys enjoyed it, but there was structure behind it. There was thought, creative process behind it. So now, at the time, I didn't think of it that way. I didn't really have the knowledge to realize what I was doing, but that was my creative process, was pretty much creating everything at the front and saying, okay, these are the things I have to get done, giving myself a to-do list, really, giving myself a checklist. But within those thumbnails, it's like I already can kind of see what video is going to play when you click that thumbnail. So that's just a little I guess tip for newcomers to making videos. If you want to do scheduled daily stuff, that's a good thing to do, is just pump out, take a day to make a whole bunch of thumbnails, and then make videos based around those thumbnails. You can do it with writing titles. You don't even have to make the thumbnail. Say you're just going to take a freeze frame from the video anyway. Come up with titles. What are your daily videos going to be for the week? What are they going to be titled? Think about what you want to do in the week, and pump those out, and there you go. You have a whole week schedule. Now, I'm currently writing a book. One of the reasons why this video even popped in my head to do with creative process, just talking about it, is I'm writing a book, and usually in the past I would just jump in blindly and just write a book. Now I'm going back to my roots of kind of getting a structure first and then tackling the main thing. But I've written backstory. This is the first story and book that I've attempted writing that I'm truly tackling backstory, the lore of each individual character that's being introduced. Where did they come from? Where did their parents come from? They're kind of just like a 3-generational breakdown of where these people have come from in the past 3 generations, whatever. And beyond that, I'm creating the lore of the world. Where is this location? All of these different places. Why is this city more important than this city? And making a map and everything like that of where these places are actually located. So this is something I've never done within my creative process within writing. And just by doing that, I've actually come up with the entire concept of the book now. So I just have to figure out how I'm going to fill it, because I know what's going on now in the story, and I know why it's happening, and I know where it's going to go. I just don't know that middle section. I don't know how the characters are going to get to the ending. I don't know how the characters are going to come to the realization of what's actually happening. I don't know all that yet. I don't know what type of adventure is going to happen in the middle, but I have that body of work created, and now I just have to go in daily and pump out a video to each of those thumbnails. And so that is definitely something to think about, to ponder. Again, within every industry, whatever you are in, whatever hobby you have, it may be art, it may be like drawing, painting, could be writing, could be music, but figure out a creative process, because within that you can then create a schedule for yourself that kind of feels fun. And the thing about like hobbies like this that you can then turn into, say, a profession, a job, it can then be fun to kind of dance around your schedule, to switch it up. Okay, I need change. Well, you have the power to change that, but you need another creative process behind that, so you don't lose your momentum. So you don't want to just switch it up and if it's not working, go back to what was working. But maybe you've set up for yourself that you're going to write Monday through Friday. Well, maybe you also work Monday through Friday and you find yourself most drained those days. So you give yourself maybe Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 days instead of 5 days. And Wednesday you do a little bit. Friday you go hard, stay up maybe after work, and go hard throughout the hours. And then Saturday, you just get up and write here and there, here and there, here and there, but you do it gradually throughout the day. You could do all these things, but you got to make sure that process is there, because once you lose that process, then once it's no longer structured, again, it's more chances of you losing your momentum with whatever you're creating. So just a little thought of the day. Again, I already ate dinner, so I didn't do a ramen taste test, but usually on Wednesdays that's what I do. So if you are new to the channel and do like watching people eat spicy things, that's usually what I try to go to, is like the spicy ramen. So on Wednesdays, that's usually what I try to do. This week I just decided I wanted to talk, but yes, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smack that like button, hit that bell notification button just so you're notified every single time I post a video. Now, like the whole video I was explaining, I post every single day. I have that creative process going into things now, finally, again. But I post every single day. So with all of that being said, guys, this was Tyler. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.